Hello and welcome, another Try&Fly. It's on XP12 and it's an aircraft that has been updated and made compatible with XP12 some weeks ago. For free, by the way. It's the Flightfactor B767. I have got the extended edition, and that is the freighter, the 767F variant, which I use the colors of Star Air. Star Air, another airline that I learned about recently when I got myself some films from Just Planes or World Air Routes, I think. By the way, these noises are coming from Flightfactor. I guess you can configure them to not play, so it's kind of ambient noise at the airport. It's okay. Okay, so since I am favoring cargo operations, I usually pick the cargo option if I have one. That's the same here, but obviously the aircraft, it doesn't matter whether it's passenger or cargo or freighter, it's the same add-on. It has the same features and capabilities, although there are some differences, obviously, because when we do cargo, it's slightly different from an aircraft point of view and an operations point of view. Right, so I'm not sure how nice this livery is. It's fine, but there might be better liveries out there. But generally, yeah, it is one of these good aircrafts. It's one of the aircraft in X-Plane 11, or was, that were definitely the better ones, also from a system depth and fidelity. Now here we have to observe the caveat, switch the view here. The caveat is, this is, although it is now the XP12 release, and we just got version 1.6.4 beta, it's still a beta considered for the Flightfactor airplane here. There is a chance that not everything might work 100%, because as usual, it takes time to adapt an aircraft to the new XP12 realities. I stopped using freeware or payware scenery for my airports, so this is all standard scenery. There's no orthos, there's no extended autogen, things like that. Excuse me. Because I want to test things as they are, also from a frame rate point of view, with a normal aircraft. At the moment, we get 38 frames per second. So these devices going off here. And let's check, because something that is still not good in XP12, frames drop considerably when you are flying in the darkness. It gets a bit better in the air, but it's generally quite a hit as soon as you have lights. And that's one of the reasons why I use default scenery now, because I want to make sure that this is not something induced by the add-on, by the scenery that I use. Because old XP11 scenery might not be that ideal in the way they are set up, so I want to make sure that whatever we see here is default. I did the 57 gigabytes download for the scenery. My God, it took 6 hours. I was surprised how quick it actually went. I'm not sure if it was really 57 gigabyte, because with the bitrate that I had, I should have taken much longer, but it doesn't matter. So I am up to date when it comes to scenery. And I think they have improved a little bit. I'm not sure about the textures, but they definitely improved the whole autogen, because that was quite sparse in the beta versions, in the pre-release versions of XP12. Generally, the quality of the airports have really improved again over XP11. It started already, because what they did is they started to have new objects, new facades, new ways of doing things at airports already available in XP11 in the gateway. And so successively all the airports have been adapted, and therefore the quality has gone better and better on XP11, and we seem to have now the same plus new stuff here in XP12. But as I say, there is a price when it gets dark, and the difference is a whopping 10 to 15 frames, at least in this aircraft. Now we will see how much the aircraft will take away when we actually fire it up. Let's get into the cockpit. Oh yeah, I haven't yet... things have changed, so my old views or view settings, they don't work anymore. So I have started to adapt them, but then I was interrupted, which happens quite often when I do. So this is okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is not okay. Yeah, we need to go a bit, so, yeah, roughly like that. This is also not okay. This always happens when there is some changes in the visual. Oops, no. We are way out here. When they do changes in the visual model, yeah, that's when we get this kind of change, and we need to kind of follow it up with. So let's see. That's what I usually do. Let's try and make sure that the speed brake lever does not obstruct the FMC. All right. Almost. I think it's okay. So that gives us a good view on the FMC, and now let's see all the internal views. Yep, there is this one here, which is, I think I will do this differently. It's kind of as if Just Plane has put a camera. That's what I do these days. It's kind of flaps, attach the camera here to this side window, and you kind of get the cockpit in an overview from the side. Let's, if I don't have an EFB, then I use this, and I usually also have a passenger view, but the thing is, here in this aircraft, obviously, we do not have passengers. So let's have a look if we can actually get into the cargo room, or if it is the same as it used to be, and that is that you do not get into the cargo room from the... Looks pretty much like it. They have changed the inside here. So there's the lavatory, then there are seats. It's actually really open. I'm not sure if that's really like this in... And we do not have at least an official access. Now let's see if I go through here. So now we are in the cargo compartment, it seems, but there is some form of whatever that is. Let's see. And if I go through here, then we can see the cargo compartment. Now let's store this as my passenger view. I always like when you can see things. Right. Now, because this is a Flightfactor, you do have an iPad. In the iPad, you have tons and tons and tons of settings, which I will not go through now. I just use whatever I need now. Operations, so let's go to ground, and we're going to connect. Now, if you don't have ground handling from JAR Design, this aircraft comes with a basic set of what you need. So, for example, I can call up the stairs, set the chocks, the luggage loaders. All right. You can attach a GPU, which you will need then for, and you can call the fuel truck. It could also be a de-icing truck. This is the air conditioning unit, an external one, and call for a food loader disposal. We're not going to do that. And you can always save all these settings and then reload them the next time, for example, which is also quite good. Pallet numbers. So here's now the cargo. So at the moment we're supposed to have 2 pallets. So for our CG, which is a bit out, I think. Let me see. Yeah, Mach 20, so that looks a bit better. Let's leave these 2 in. It's kind of the minimum. And then I say load. Now the doors are closed. So it will check that you have actually the doors closed, opened. And so this is now a little bit in the way here. So let's move this over. So why don't we open the door? We go to airplane. And we're going to open the main entrance and also the main cargo door. I wonder though, do we have a loader for this part? Because this is sort of the most important one. Let's open the other ones as well. What's BLK? That's the bulk cargo door. Yeah, but that's just a small cargo hold there in the back. Now let's check. Yeah. I have a feeling, unless I'm overlooking something, that we do not have a loader for this unit. Loader unit, or what's that? Ah, that's this one. Okay, so that's different because you don't get that in the passenger version. Oh yeah, I'm glad, because that would have been a bit strange if we wouldn't. Okie dokie. So we also have the so airplane. That's all. Here you can do some settings, for example, wing flex reflections. So if you don't like the level of reflections, in XP12 things don't look as bad as they used to in partly in XP10 and 11. So I only turn them off if they really disturb me. But let's go back to ground and check now. This is now the normal loading, but what about fuel? By the way, you can also load the lower compartments. Yeah, not on the, and you do this by, yeah, you do this by what? How do you do this? Oh, I guess this is here the cargo weight. So you you can enter the weight and it will kind of distribute it. And here's the fuel. I was looking for that. Since we're going only for a very short flight, I'm putting in kind of the default for larger aircraft and more heavy aircraft, which is 10,000 kilograms or 10 tons of fuel. And now I'm doing load, unload, loading the plane, please wait. And that's at the moment all I do. Here you can connect, by the way, to Navigraph. I haven't set this up yet. And then there are also checklists here that we can go through. So that's also quite nice. Unfortunately, the only thing we really see, or we hear only that things are loaded, we don't see things being loaded. It's okay. I mean, that's not bad. I'm glad that we can get kind of the impression from outside that we are on a cargo airplane and we get loaders attached, because it always looks strange when you do a passenger aircraft with a fake cargo livery and then you have basically nothing that doesn't even look as if you're loading cargo. I think I'm always glad when there is loaders like this. You could use also jar design, I guess, but here everything is built in, so that's fine. Right, I have the extension also with these new avionics. They have even newer ones now that you can buy. For example, the Star, this airline here, they have indeed max avionics. So at least here, these displays are max. These are still the old ones, the engines, but the two pilots have max style. Yeah, here you can call up your pad anytime. Very good. All right, so I would say let's begin with firing it up. Oh yeah, this is also still not yet how it should be. Need to go first a little bit more backward, yeah. All right, and then get this straighter and save the position. So I have been in a 767 for quite some time now. I would say it's over a year, if not even a year and a half. Because I simply, for private reasons and also generally, I simply don't have that much time to spend with individual aircraft. So I might be a bit rusty when it comes to all this here. Standby power auto. We do have external power, so we activate it. And we're going to activate the bus ties and the utility buses. So we're also going to, I think we can put these on auto. Yeah, I know we should probably ask before we do this. The yaw dumper, I just turn on anything that later can, will automatically switch whatever state. Don't touch these here, okay? Because if you do, then you disconnect the drive. That's not a good thing to have. Fuel pumps coming later. The APU, we haven't got it running yet, but we then need to get the... yeah, so there's no air because we don't have input right now. That's the window heat. Let's turn that one on. Auto for the signs. And I'm going to use automatic 1 mode for the pressurization. Landing altitude is 1450. Okay, then let's turn on the position lights. During the day you don't really see, but it's kind of an indication that someone is in the plane. Not that we can overlook this with all the stuff attached. And we also turn on the beacon because we're going to very quickly start firing up the APU and all that. So, one thing I would like to see is what the lights look like. So I turn them on already while we're still in the bright, because it's always then a little bit tedious if it's dark and you can't find anything. Okay, so we are in the dark now. Again, the frames have dropped considerably. Our dome lights are there. Now let's check what have we got down here. So weather is radar is still on WX. So here's an ADF unit. This is the ILS unit. We need to dial up. Something that is very hard to read is the transponder, but the mode is 2000, so that's what I want it to have. Let's quickly check the axis. Yep. Especially since I fixed in brackets my Honeycomb. All the axes working now. It's a treat. Okay, so let's turn on panel lights. Let's turn on floodlight. We do have some interruptions in the sound. I'm not sure where they come from. Let's turn off the main light and see how that looks. Yep, that's quite okay. The displays are slightly on the dark side, I would say. But only slightly. Let's bring up the brightness for all of these. Ah, that's okay. No, they're readable. They're fine. That's good. I'm happy enough with the cockpit lighting. Okay, let's go into daylight again. Next stage, I'm not going through any official SOP here, yeah, so don't start. I'm in settings. I'm not sure why this is still here, because you use the pad to do the settings. Might be some remnant from earlier versions. So we are in a 767 freighter model. I think it's a variant of the 200. With Pratt & Whitney 4060 engines. The ARAC is slightly outdated, I know. I haven't had time yet to update this. Then reference airport, we are in Stuttgart. We are on the cargo side of the airport. Having said that, let's put these into nav position and start the alignment. I'm not sure how long it will take to align, and I'm going to use the FMS position. No, can't. Okay, then I use 12.3. Yeah, it looks okay. Route. We're flying from EDDS to EDDM. I don't think there's a SimBrief integration. You may correct me if I'm wrong, but at least the last time I sat in this aircraft, the SimBrief integration was far away. Yeah, but this is pretty much Boeing style CDU here and flight management, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get it set up for a very short and very quick route. We're going to take off from runway 07. Departure is runway 07 via APTA 4 Hotel. And we arrive in Munich, ILS 08 left. We're not doing anything else. We close the discontinuity, the expected discontinuity. Activate, execute, back to route. Quick check. You could save this route now. APTA direct ILS. Everything is as it should be. Let's go to performance in it. Now you can put in the gross weight. So this is one of these simplifications. We have 10 tons of sensed fuel. So the sensors show us that we have 10 tons. Reserves, we're going to use a value of 3. Cruise altitude is as usual 140. Cost index 35. Cruise wind, there is no, I'm not even sure if that really does a lot. It looks like a simplification anyway. Flaps, yeah, the flaps. I think we're going to take off with flaps 5. Okay, CG is not entered. We might have to check this out. That was thrust. What am I doing? So take off thrust. Yeah. We're not derating. I need to check. I can't remember what we need to do here. Let's go to index, and there is only that, right? What about performance? There's not much I can do here either. So it's a simplification, I would think. So if I don't enter a temperature here, then it will probably take... Yeah, good question. What will it do? Let's use the 15 degrees. It's a derated takeoff, but there aren't any rates that you can pick. All right then. Yeah. As I say, I haven't been in this aircraft for a long time. Ooh. What about the V speeds? Am I missing something? Select on. That was, yeah. You need to turn this on. This, I think, is something that you don't get in the real aircraft. 118, you have to confirm them. 118, 125, 136. Oh, it has put that in already. Nice. Let me see if my hardware works. No, it doesn't. Usually it doesn't with Flightfactor. I need to do something special to get them working again. 072. Let's see if altitude works. Nope, it doesn't. See if speed works. Nope, it doesn't. Okay. Fair enough. There's not much I can do. I first need to do my usual customizations. Flight director is on. The autothrottle is already armed. We arm LNAV VNAV after the takeoff. And I guess that could be it. Now let's go to the checklist and do the before start checklist. Parking brake, fuel control switches. Yeah. Fuel is checked, passenger signs set, windows locked, MCP is set, takeoff thrust check. Takeoff speeds, we have checked, CDU pre-flight is complete, rudder and aileron trim. Oh yep, we need to make sure that we are well in the green. It didn't, did it? 2.4 actually, it told us we should use 2.4. So let's do that, at least roughly. So roughly 2.4. Let's also go and bring up the status page, which we'll need in a moment. The APU is not running yet. While we're doing the other steps, let's start the APU. I think it's firing up. Yes, it's firing up. Taxi and takeoff briefing is completed. I know where we need to go. Flight deck door is not yet locked. Red anti-collision light is on. Yeah, we've done that already. I'm going to take out this window now. Let's see. No, it doesn't have a big impact on frames when I do that. So the cockpit door is not that relevant anyway, but we still have all that stuff out there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the airplane and I'm closing all the doors. And I'm going into the ground menu, as you can see here, and I'm getting rid of the stairs, the LSU, the fuel truck, and the loader unit. Not yet the GPU. We have to wait that the APU is fully functional. The sounds, hear that? Tuck. Maybe that is when you do certain things. The APU is available, so I am activating the APU now. It should be on the bus, I hope. And while we're at it, let's start the fuel pumps. I don't think we have enough fuel for the center. No, it's 0. So no need to do the center pumps. Parking brake is set. So I'm going to disconnect the GPU. Uh-oh. Hello? That was not good. Bus tie. It's lost the bus tie. Okay. I hope that hasn't deleted our flight plan. No, it hasn't. Huh, interesting. That I didn't expect now. I would have thought that with the APU gen active and the bus ties in auto, that shouldn't really have happened, I think. Me thinks, but maybe I'm wrong. Right, let's activate and the isolation switches. Now we have it. Okay, so the APU and the isolation switches. So we have pressure. We need that for starting up. The other thing that we're going to do is call for better pushback in the hope that...
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Now we're going to have a delay. So better pushback needs about 30-40 seconds before it comes back. It hasn't crashed on me yet. There are other people where better pushback does crash from time to time, and with some aircraft. I haven't tested it with this one yet, but I hope it is working as it's always doing with all the aircraft that I've tested so far, and that is, it just takes time, be patient. Eventually, I think we're going to get a version of better pushback which doesn't do this, but at the moment I don't touch it while it's, and don't change the settings. At least when I change the settings and try to save the settings, boom, crash the desktop. So at the moment, although I don't like all this, a lot of the logo stuff that comes up, I like kind of a basic without any things popping up. I'm not talking about this here now, this is the editor mode. But at the moment I don't touch it, because if I do, then boom.
Ground to cockpit. Toes driving up.
Yep. I'm waiting for a new version of better pushback, but as you see, it does work. So we are fine. Let's wait for the pushback track. I wonder how he will do it without damaging his truck with this sign here, or damaging the sign, more likely. Yeah, that's standard sceneries. I mean, they are partially generated and partially manually overworked. If someone picks up an airport and manually works on it, they might remove things like this. But then again, this year, better pushback, it's not aware of anything in the scenery. So it just goes through buildings.
Okay. All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Set parking brake.
The parking brake is set. "23 frames. Poor. Marginal. This is not good. I mean, I have a good setup. With the Cessna, I get up to 80 frames. Combination of not yet being full day and this aircraft and other things here, yeah, take their toll. And you still get the flicker. That's the bitter thing. I'm hoping that Lamina will at least reduce the flicker to a point where I don't see it all the time.
Release parking brake.
Okay, so we are ready. Let's quickly go through the checklist. So the next checklist is the before start we had. Oh no, the next is the before taxi checklist. Well then, release the parking brake and then...
Starting pushback, and you may start the engines.
We have got that already as it should be. We use one of the starters and we'll start with this engine. I think there's a problem, and the problem might be that I did not take away the chocks. Hang on. I hope that's the problem. Oh yeah, I did not take away the chocks. Stupido mio. Oh yeah, look at that. I hope we didn't break the wheels now. So what about our engine? Did it come up? Looks good. So let's start engine number 1. can hear that the generators are touched and were switched. Looking good. Looks like 2 good engine starts. So let's go here. For some reason we still have... Okay, let's cycle the utility bus. We had a bit of an issue before that, it seems. So yeah, this stays on auto. That's fine. And now we're going to bit loud, the switches.
Operation complete. Please set parking brake.
Parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Wing and engine anti-ice. Okay. We don't require that. Some more lighting here. Dome light and all that. Where was I? So, yep, disconnect. So I think I have to turn them off, I guess. Yeah, parking brake is the last amber item. Then we are going to bring flaps 5 up.
Tower is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left.
Flaps have moved, but not where I would have expected it to move to, and at least not yet. Let me see, did I... Now it has moved. Position 5. Interesting. Oh, they're away. They are away. Okay, then comes the before taxi checklist. Anti-ice not required. Isolation switches are off. That's the one that I just did here. Recall. The recall is, where was the recall here? So we are in toga mode. Recall, where was that? Here. Recall, there's no, recall is fine. Checked, auto brake, RTO is set, and ground equipment is clear. So we're ready to taxi. Let's turn on the, is that? No. It looks like they're on, but they're not. Okay, nose gear light on, yeah. Parking brake off, and doesn't need much. Okay, we are quite light for a freighter. Oh yeah, it quite happily accelerates. Let's see if the nose steering, yeah, steering tiller axis works. Cool. I got an old X52 throttle unit because the main joystick is defective. The feather broke, the spiral thing. So I almost threw the whole thing away, but I kept the unit, and recently I got the throttle unit of the X52 and I use it turned for left and right as a steering tiller. It's free, it didn't cost me anything, and it's actually a great way of steering large aircraft. It's much more realistic than with the Rudders. Oh, look at that. 14 frames. That's not good. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. And now we're talking default scenery here, yeah? I'm not on some fancy overboarding airport. We just about are above the 20, which is actually a problem for... yeah, that's a pity. That doesn't make me happy. Let's quickly see if I can do something. So let's bring back the MSAA settings. Check 24, 25. Let's leave it at that level. A bit more flicker, even more flicker, unfortunately. Oh, what have we got here? Why are my displays gone? What the heck happened here? So why is the... oh, this is the air pump. No, that's not good. But I also don't like the fact that we have no instruments here. So we apparently have some problem here. Not sure where my problem lies. Crap. So, what have we done? Excuse me. What have I done? I'm not aware of... okay, let's see. Do we have failures? Reports. Ground power connector malfunctioning. Reset. Yeah, we had some weird thing happening here. Let's turn off the APU bus. Maybe that was the reason. Nope. Should be on the engine bus. Is this now an explain 12 thing? Or is that me being stupid? Let's fix the systems. Aha. Don't ask me. Somewhere we got an X-plane failure. Who knows? Anyway, I've got my displays back. And the good thing in this aircraft is you can actually put them out into a window, which is great. It means that I do not require to have texture extractor running with this. Do we lose some frames when we bring that out? Good question. Let's see. Not really if I bring them out. No, so we don't lose frames when we do that, which is nice. Alright then, we are ready. Line up. Let's put on the strobes. There's the strobe lights. White collision. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take much to get it moving. Now don't forget, this might still be some misalignments with XP12, okay? So this is not necessarily that I made something wrong. It could just be something that just simply doesn't yet work fully with XP12. I hope it is. And it's not my stupidity. Whoops, I think I was a bit too hard on the brakes. Okay, now let's see if we can get the toga. I think it's this knob. Takeoff power set. V1, rotate. There's no announcements. I don't know if you can configure this.
Don't sink, don't sink.
Positive rate. Why are you complaining? Gear up. Again, first flight since at least a year and a half ago. So I am still trying to kind of gear us in. And now let's use Command A and let the LNAV VNAV has been turned off, probably when we had issues before. Okay, what about, is there a problem with the trim here? No, there isn't. Why are we I don't like that. So gear is in, speed brake is definitely in. Oh, we are climbing like, I don't really like that. Let's see what it does with flight level change. Let's try vertical speed and go to a more amenable. Okay, now it has changed to speed. Yeah, obviously. So I put it on up speed. It's slowly but surely coming up. Okay. Flaps 1. Hang on, we are on the, where's the barrow? Somewhere down here. WXR, where is the barrow? Here, standard. And flaps up. So let's try VNAV again. Now the flaps are in, the red barber pole has moved away, and it's bringing us to 230 knots, 250 knots, now 293, which is the climb speed. A little bit fast, but I let it do it at the moment, 10,000. I didn't turn on the landing lights, ah well. So let's put in a so that should reduce the speed a little bit. It does, yeah. But only until we reach our 14,000 feet, which it has overshot slightly. It's returning. And we're now going to the limit of what we can probably fly. Okay, now let's see. Speed intervention. Let's bring that back to 250. We have independent FMCs, independent displays, which you would expect from an add-on like this. The FMC is, let's say, abbreviated. It's not having everything that you would probably have in the real aircraft, but that's fine for me. So this was the climb setting, this is the cruise setting, this is the descent. Don't press descent now, right now, or you will actually start to descend. It's a bit too early for that, and we want to see what the VNAV is doing. Alright, the ILS we need to set up for our approach 1950, and the course is 080. And if I forgot any other small tiny things such as lights or so, we're on a test. I mean, the default scenery now with the, I think, improved autogen actually looks pretty okay, I would say. And because we have always this kind of misty air, there's you can't see that much anyway from this altitude. Yeah, I think that is quite okay. I mean, it can always be improved on, obviously, but yeah. So we're now on 246 to 50-ish. So here's all the stuff like weather, waypoints, the display. Here's the terrain. I'm not sure that it has terrain. Of activated terrain, it does have terrain. Yeah, great. Here's the range. BFD, ND, what does that do? To be honest, I'm not sure. Is that brightness? Meters and flight path vector minimums here. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to see, so let's dial in 200 radio for our approach. Or you could use the something like speed ref. It's very hard to read here. And here's the baro setting, and at the moment we had it in inch, so now back to HPA. Yep. I do like those displays. think they are also a realistic expansion, because whatever Boeing 767 is flying nowadays, a lot of them have actually got avionics improvements. That's not only for Star, for these guys here, Star Air, but also for, I think, other airlines that still use them for passenger flying. They usually have updated and renewed things in the 767. Condor, by the way, is now phasing out all their 767s. The first A330 Neos have arrived, the stripy ones, and the 767s will now leave operations step by step with every Airbus that comes. I suppose they will start to phase out the partially 30-year-old and more 767s. I still have manuals from two 767 that are actually not in service anymore in Condor for some years. They have them since the 90s, so they're quite old aircraft in the meantime. And we're going to see them fading out. Now there's a bit of a graphical bug, I would say. This doesn't look right. Okay. So yep, there are the odd little not so nice things in the modeling, but in general it's fine. So but down here you see, there we have some bright blue things as well, and they also flicker. Or here, yeah. It's this is kind of the shadowy thing, or the 3D contour thingy. Those don't work well in XP12. They look pretty bad. Oh, top of descent. Shit. And I didn't get a warning, did I? Oh yeah, FMC message. Yeah, Costa has been sleeping. Talking. Is this something? Okay, now we're a little bit above. Let's see if it can make up for it. Magat in 42 miles. I think we've started a little bit early anyway. Usually the other aircraft come about 30 miles towards Magat, so we have 10 miles more. Should be fine, I guess. Fuel consumption 0.3. It's actually not too bad, but I think in general the 767 is kind of on the 2 tons per hour per engine area, so it is a bit more thirsty than, let's say, a 737, especially the modern ones. They are quite good when it comes to fuel consumption. Let's clear that. And we are actually a bit fast, although I have speed intervention here. We should be at 250 and we are at 276. It does not heat my speed. That means we're a little bit on the fast side. We're still a little bit fast. Did the gears come in? Yeah, because I still have green lights here on my Honeycomb, but that's because, unfortunately, with Flightfactor on these kind of aircraft, the standard stuff doesn't work. So we're getting faster, not slower. That's not good management. Okay, so let's take over the energy management. Let's check, because we are also quite early when it comes to getting to 5,000. There's no problem if it is much closer to Magat, as long as it's not at or after Magat, because then we get a problem with the ILS. Yeah, that's not good. See this? I mean, we are on minimum thrust, and yeah, we're not getting anywhere, so let's use the speed brake here. Not that this has a huge effect. We're descending with 1,000 feet per minute, and I can't get the aircraft to slow down. Okay, that's important to know. Let's activate auto brake 1 and also get ourselves the flaps 30, reference speed 131. Speed brake now fully extended, and we're still slowing down very slowly. That's something you need to know. I mean, that's is important to kind of understand and prepare then also for your approach. Is there a descent setting here? No. Okay, but it should do it automatically anyway, so it's still in cruise mode. But as you can see, we are in idle. Let's reduce even further, because I think we'll be fine when it comes to the altitude. So where was the deceleration point? Do we have a deceleration point? Yeah. Doesn't really show one. So I wonder what happens if I close this, if I go to VNAV again. Okay, it stays with the current speed of 240. Well, that's at least good. It doesn't go completely haywire. There are some aircraft that would now mess up everything, but we're getting faster again. Although we're 2,000 feet per minute. Oh yeah, I went into VNAV. So it's trying to compensate for the fact that we have been a little bit below the vertical path. So now we're at 5,000. I hope I can reduce. It went down under the up speed now, but the way we are at the moment, we are too fast, so I leave the speed brake out in the hope that once we level off, which is more or less now, we've exceeded our goal again by about 100 feet. It's now bringing up the nose again. That's yeah, I'm not overly happy with that. Where's the zoom here? Is that the zoom? No. Hard to see. This is PFD, WXR, VOR is the mode. Okay, so the ILS reception is there. I'm going to arm the approach mode. Where do you zoom? Hang on. Yes, that's the mode. Is that not the... Oh! I don't know. I'm probably stupid, but I can't get the... Ah, range, here it is. Haha. Found it. Okay, flaps 1. Because we are now reducing speed. Oh, 114. No, hang on. I'm stupid. 80 knots. It has automatically changed the heading. Okay. Localizer captured. Glide slope. We're under a glide slope, which is very good. Flaps 5. But we're getting a bit slow. So we'll try and stay on this speed level. Now we have manual speed control because we are fully established. So are we following the glide slope? Yes, we are. A little bit above it. We're now getting faster again. This is and I have the speed brakes out, you know. Look at that. Let's try flaps 10. This is one slippery duck here, huh? Speed brake extended, I know. And we're still getting faster. Okay, gear down. Is it coming out? Yeah. That should hopefully reduce our speed. Flaps 20. We have all 3 autopilots on. It has done that itself. I didn't do anything. Next stage of flap. Now we need to bring down the speed to the VREF. And where are we flaps wise? I think we are, yeah, flaps full. And we're still too fast. What happens if I take out the speed brake and arm it now? How do you arm it? Hang on. So, okay, auto brake is armed, rollout and flare armed. So we shall test it if it offers to do it for us. Frames not so good, and I think we're a little bit on the low side here, so let's change that view.
Minimums.
Okay, the approach is stable. We've managed to get the speed where it should be. but you have to be
100.
aware of this. You need to really
50,
work on your speed
40,
early.
30, 20, 10.
Are we centered? No, we're not. As I thought. Okay, reverse. Auto brake active. So the auto brakes have been turned off. 70 knots. Manual braking. See if we can get off here. Nope, there's no steering, and I can tell you why. Because I think the autopilot might still be active. Yeah. Whoops. Whoa. Okay. And my knob isn't working here. There's a lot of standard settings don't work with this aircraft, so you need to have your own profile being set up. Alright then. Park brake. We'll clean up the aircraft. I still haven't been there. I forgot to turn on the flippin' lights again. Okay. And we'll start the APU. Still not sure what that is here. That's press. Is that the ram air? Is that the ram air turbine? Probably, maybe. So auto brakes off. Speed brake in. Flaps is up. Transponder into standby because in Europe. And yeah, but I have to say the landing was great. It did really a good job there. No doubt about that. If you got yourself some old throttle unit from an X52 or so, they're actually quite good for as a steering tiller because they are large. Define a large center null zone, because otherwise it's hard to really find the point where the wheels are straight. So if you have a large, let me show you this. So we're talking about this thing here. I don't have that part. I only have this part, and I turned it so that I can move left to right. And it's important that you edit a response curve with quite a bit of null zone here. Okay, so put this here on 0. And that makes a fantastic. For me, it was cheap because I had it, and I didn't want to use it anymore because it's not really a good kit anymore. But for this purpose, at least the throttle is great. We're a little bit fast, I think. Oh, 26, yeah. Let's slow down. Easy, Tiger. Yeah, look at all the flickering, and because I had to turn down a little bit the anti-aliasing even further, it's even worse. So this is, I keep saying this, it's the one thing that really spoils XPlane 12 for me, because this is just it's unbearable, really. I don't really want to see this. See this with the steering tiller, you can really steer very well. Okay, I'm a little bit off the mark here. Still need to find out where my center point is. I think we've got it now. Somewhere there. Yeah, pretty much in the line of sight. Stop here. Parking brake on. And APU on, and the APU generator, it's already on. Let's hope that the switchover works this time. Oh yeah. To get to the button. It's a bit awkward. Did it do that now? I guess. I think. Hopefully. Well, we don't have... oh yeah, I need to turn on the isolation valves so that we get air from the APU. I forgot that. Well, anyway, yeah, it's still a very good product. It has a few things that I'm not sure, but I think it has to do with XPlane 12 and the fact that this aircraft is also still in beta mode, so it needs to be adjusted to what's happening in XPlane 12. So some of the behaviors that we've seen may have to be attributed to this. But in general, it is a very nice aircraft. Visually, it's quite okay here in the cockpit. Unfortunately, again, in XPlane 12, all these bright little lines, contours and things like that, at least for me, they come out, and I'm not the only one, I know that. They don't come out very well, and they're not the best option here in the simulator, because you get flickering from them and it looks strange, because you get these quite visible yeah, kind of stairs. The closer you get, the less you see them, but the further away you get, the more pronounced they are, and you can see here the kind of flicker effects that come with it. But that's something that's more like XPlane 12, but I'm pretty sure by taking away these bright bluish things and make them darker, like brownish, yeah, you will not see them as much. It's the bright lines and it's thin lines that really don't work well with the current anti-aliasing level that we get in XPlane 12. And if you have a way of having anti-aliasing work really fantastic in your simulator, let me know, because I haven't found a way yet. I tried everything there is, and I know a lot of other people are complaining too. It has got better, but it's nowhere where it should be, at least not in my opinion. That's it. Thanks very much, and until next time.